Well, good evening, everyone. We'll get started with our annual meeting. And welcome to Mid-Minnesota Federal Credit Union's annual meeting. You being a part of this event today demonstrates the dedication and loyalty by our members for this organization. I'm incredibly grateful for that. This evening, we're going to take time to reflect on 2016, which marked a milestone in the history of our credit union. It marked 60 years of service from our humble beginnings back in 1956. I look forward to this meeting as an opportunity to give you a glimpse into what has made this past year so great for our members and staff alike. We will also share with you some accomplishments so far this year and talk about future plans for our credit union. In your welcome bags handed out this evening, you'll find a copy of our 2016 annual report. The theme for our annual report is Where People Matter, and I truly believe that is the credit union philosophy. As we look back to when it all began, it was a handful of men and women with a dream and a vision of a financial institution where all people mattered and had a fair opportunity to financing their dreams. They decided to take a chance and open a new way of investing their hard-earned dollars. From their initiative, the Northwest Paper Employees Credit Union was born and has evolved into what we are familiar with today as Mid-Minnesota Federal Credit Union. Again, thank you for joining us today. Enjoy your time here, and I look forward to visiting with you. And now I'd like to take some opportunity to talk about our volunteers. Mid-Minnesota's Board of Directors is made up of members who volunteer their time, keep a service philosophy and focus in everything we do. The guidelines they do for doing this are the credit union core values of integrity, personal responsibility, sense of community, and teamwork. Please hold your applause until I've recognized all of our volunteers. And board members, when I call your name, if you would please stand. Teresa Goebel, Board Chair. Rhonda Smith, First Vice Chair. Mark Korwin-Kaczynski, Second Vice Chair. Todd Fromming, Director. Jeff Torfin, Director. And unable to be with us this evening are Angela Roby, Bunny Johnston, Jeff Gorvin, and Jason Anakla. Please join me in a round of applause for these folks. One of the key differences between a credit union and a bank is that credit unions elect members to serve on the board of directors and various committees. These elected officials are unpaid. They are volunteer representatives of the membership at large. You've met our directors, and now I'd like to direct you to our 2016 annual report, where all of our volunteers are listed, including members of Mid-Minnesota's Supervisory Committee and Advisory Councils. If you're a member of either of these volunteer committees, would you please stand for a round of applause? I know we have a few here. Now I'd like to introduce our board chair, Teresa Goebel.
Thank you, Chuck. Good evening. Thank you for coming. Isn't this a beautiful evening? It is my privilege to call to order the 2017 annual meeting of the Mid-Minnesota Federal Credit Union. The purpose of this meeting is to give us, as members, owners, the opportunity to learn about the financial condition of our credit union and to determine what is good for our continued growth and success. Your questions are welcome at any time. Has the first vice chair established whether there is a quorum present?
Madam Chairman, Chairwoman, I would say.
Yes, Rhonda.
There being 15 members in attendance, at least 15 members, a quorum has been established.
Thank you. I have to say, I'm so happy to see so many people here, because sometimes we had to say at least 15 minutes, but thank you everyone for here tonight. I will entertain a motion to disperse with the reading of the minutes from our 2016 annual report. Is there a motion for that?
I move the motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. The minutes are approved. So now I will take the opportunity to share my report with you. There are a few numbers that culminated in a successful 2016 at Mid-Minnesota Federal Credit Union. So I thought looking back at the past year in sheer numbers that speak volumes would be a unique way to share our accomplishments. 11 is the number of Mid-Minnesota Federal Credit Union branch locations throughout central Minnesota. Following the addition of Aiken in 2016, this addition has been a welcome one for both the Aiken community as well as our credit union, as we strive to make a difference in the lives of the members we serve. 117 is the number of people who participated in Mid-Minnesota Education Network throughout the year. Offerings are carefully crafted with all ages and life stages in mind, working with our younger members in preparing for their financial future, as well as our more senior members preparing for retirement and enjoying those golden years. 13 is the number of workshop opportunities that were offered to our members and community throughout 2016. Throughout the year, the Mid-Minnesota Federal Credit Union Education Network offered a variety of topics to members, including fraud prevention, simplifying the home loan process, money management for couples, navigating online and mobile banking, driver improvement, and much more. In addition, our staff provided financial education in high schools, special events, colleges, businesses, nonprofit, and more. Education has long been and will continue to be a core value of this credit union. Some of you may have had children or grandchildren that came and talked about the education that they were provided in the schools, in the high schools. 60 years of serving our community was marked throughout the past year. And with it, Mid-Minnesota Federal Credit Union kicked off its 60 Days of Giving fundraiser. Between May 1st and June 30th, branch locations collected books, visited classrooms, and raised funds by selling bookworms. In addition to collecting books, Mid-Minnesota also accepted monetary donations and matched them dollar for dollar. Over $2,350 was collected and donated to help support the United Way Imagination Library program, as well as the Great River Regional Library in Staples. Credit union staff also went out into their respective communities to volunteer in schools, daycares, and libraries during that time frame. Then last fall, over $2,950 was collected, matched, and donated to Habitat for Humanity as part of the Minnesota Credit Union's Day of Kindness. Furthermore, credit union staff from each branch volunteered in their respective communities on a house build or other community enriching activity. From pounding nails to providing lunch to all the volunteers, credit union staff embrace the importance of giving back to their community and providing for those less fortunate. $3,500 was given to local students through scholarship dollars this past year at Mid-Minnesota. High school students pursuing post-secondary education from throughout our service area were chosen and awarded scholarships to lessen their financial burden. We are incredibly proud to carry out this tradition and will continue to do so into the future. Over $39,500, and as of the board meeting at 4:30 this afternoon, that number is now more than 40,000, is the number of individuals who now belong to this member-owned institution. It never ceases to amaze me that with each passing year that I have served on your board of directors, the number has steadily grown. This is a true testament to the wonderful services, opportunities, and peoples of the credit union. And that's something we should all be proud of. And finally, Over $327 million is the total amount of assets at Mid-Minnesota Federal Credit Union. That number is a direct result of your loyalty, combined with the passion and hard work of the staff at Mid-Minnesota. We truly have something within this organization that not many can rival. And that's something that I, as both a board member and a member of this credit union, can be proud of. So while you may not be a fan of numbers, there's no disputing that 2016 was a year for the history books. We as a community and as a credit union continue to stand for what is right, provide for those who need us the most, and represent the core values of what our credit union stands for. You truly matter, from your dedication to your generosity and all points in between. Thank you for continuing to be a part of this important movement, and thank you for allowing me to be with you throughout this journey. Thank you. I would like to call Chuck back up now for his message.
Thank you, Teresa. Good evening, and once again, welcome to the 2017 annual meeting of Mid-Minnesota Federal Credit Union. On behalf of our staff and board of directors, I'd like to thank you for taking time to attend this event. As you'll notice on the cover of the annual report, our theme this year is Where People Matter. I'm aging myself a bit here, but I know a few of you who will see where I'm going with this. There once was an old TV show with the tagline where everybody knows your name. Of course, that was in reference to a neighborhood bar. And while we're a financial institution, I think you'll recognize the parallel when you walk into our facilities. When you enter any one of Mid-Minnesota branch locations, you're never a stranger. Even if it's your first time stepping foot in one of our facilities, you'll be treated like an old friend. It's a principle put into practice by our founding fathers back in 1956 that is carried out each and every day. It's not because we're trying to make a buck or because trends tell us to do so. It's because we care about our members. This truly is a place where people matter. Looking back in 2016, I think we can all agree on one of the biggest milestones that came by the way of our 60th anniversary. Throughout the year, we recognized and honored our humble beginnings, and in June, we celebrated with a party. Many of you were with us at the Brainerd Industrial Center, where it all started 6 decades ago by employees of Northwest Paper Company. It was a wonderful day of commemorating all we've become and what this credit union means throughout our community. But we wouldn't be where we are today without you, so thank you. Another monumental event came last spring as we purchased property and announced plans to build in Aiken. This branch location opened earlier this year and provided an opportunity to grow and meet the needs of our members and neighbors. If you haven't already visited this, our 11th branch location, I encourage you to do so. I know that Ashley and her team would love a chance to meet you and show off their beautiful new facility. We kicked off 2016 with the Wincentive Savings Campaign. This incentive offered prize drawing entries each time account holders increased their savings balance by $25. Statewide prize drawings occurred monthly, quarterly, and annually, from $100 up to a grand prize of $5,000. In addition, Mid-Minnesota offered $50 monthly drawings exclusively for its members. During the campaign, 75 of our members won a total of $8,700, including 2 $1,000 statewide winners. It's always fun to recognize and reward our members, as well as to encourage them to save. Throughout this year, we also offered double credit union reward points on our Visa card when cardholders shopped local. This was an effort we could wholeheartedly get behind, as we truly know the positive impact keeping business local has on our economy. As you can imagine, this incentive was a success for our members and the communities served by Mid-Minnesota Federal Credit Union. Throughout the year, we continued to share enhancements, new tools, education opportunities, and more through our In Touch quarterly news publication available to all credit union members. Consider it the People magazine of the credit union, minus the gossip. These colorful and insightful newsletters are mailed each quarter to our members, as well as available at each of our branch locations and online. If you aren't already a regular reader, I would encourage you to check it out. In our spring 2016 issue of In Touch, we announced the availability of jumbo mortgage loans. These loans are geared towards those looking for a home or investment property in excess of $424,100 and available on purchases, refinances, and including cash-out refinances. This was an additional service requested by several of our members and one we're happy to accommodate. Also, within the In Touch newsletters were articles regarding enhancements to the Mid-Minnesota mobile banking app, information to help protect yourself from identity theft and fraud, educational opportunities for all ages, news from the legislative level and how it affects credit unions, and ways our members can get involved through GREAT and other initiatives, as well as the addition of co-op shared branching. And this one is a really big deal for members of Mid-Minnesota, as it increases the convenience and accessibility no matter where you roam, how far across the country. Co-op shared branching is a network that links participating credit unions electronically, allowing members to do their banking at other institutions that participate in shared branching. Since being implemented, we've found this a huge benefit to our members who travel, whose workplaces may not coincide with our branch locations, or those who simply enjoy the convenience of expanded access. By joining the Co-op Shared Branching Network, members can now visit any one of 5,400 plus branches nationwide to make deposits, withdrawals, make loan payments, receive loan advances, and more. When it's hard for you to get to us, we'll come to you. Yes, 2016 was another great year to be part of the credit union movement. During the year, Mid-Minnesota saved its members a total of $733,958 by refinancing loans members had with other institutions, and in turn giving them better rates as well as lower or no fees. This is a substantial amount of money, and we're incredibly happy and proud to be able to pass on those savings to those who matter most, our members. To say Mid-Minnesota is a place where people matter would be an understatement. You are the sole reason we exist today and come to work each day. You are a driving force behind the credit union difference. You are a reason Mid-Minnesota was recognized in 2016 by the Minnesota Credit Union Network for the highest number of GREAT members at the network annual meeting. You matter. Your family matters. Your friends matter. Our community matters. Thank you for allowing Mid-Minnesota Federal Credit Union to serve you in 2016 and long into the future. And now I would like to introduce Bill Bailey, the chairman of our supervisory committee, with the report of the auditor.
Thank you, Chuck. Good evening, all. I'm blown away by the number of people that are here tonight. This tells me that we truly are doing great things at Mid-Minnesota Federal Credit Union. Thank you for attending. A financial audit statement was performed by the audit firm of Doran Mayhew CPAs as of December 31, 2016. There were no findings or issues encountered during the audit. The audit firm has issued an unqualified opinion, which is the highest assurance they can give.
Thank you, Bill. I now would like to have Teresa come back up.
Thank you. I have to give you a personal testament about that shared co-op banking. My husband and I spend a couple months every winter in Arizona, and we do our banking down there in Apache Junction. You can do your deposit, you can get cash out. All I did was Googled shared branching, and a bunch of locations came up, and there's the one in Apache Junction. So if you travel, try it. It was very, very convenient. Okay, there being no old business to report from our previous meeting, we will proceed to new business. Is there any new business to come before the membership? Okay, if not, I would like to introduce Todd Froming, the board's nominating committee.
The nominating committee reports that we have no additional nominations from the membership. Our nominees, Teresa Goebel, Rhonda Smith, and Jason Anakala, were elected to 3-year terms on our board of directors. Angela Roby and Jeff Torfin were also elected to complete remaining board term vacancies. Thanks everybody for volunteering.
Thank you, Todd. Mid-Minnesota Federal Credit Union's 61st annual meeting will adjourn shortly. I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Is there a second? We have a motion and a second to adjourn. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Mid-Minnesota Federal Credit Union's 61st annual meeting is adjourned.